Greetings and welcome. My name is Josh Brower and I am thrilled to have you on board for this course, Practical Analysis with Security Onion. In our first session here, our course overview, we're going to spend just a couple minutes looking at what content we'll be covering in the coming sessions, as well as where to find help if you run into any problems along the way. But first, I wanted to mention our free training, Security Onion Essentials. If you have not gone through Essentials yet, I would highly recommend you do that before you take the current course you're in, the Practical Analysis with Security Onion. Security Onion Essentials covers an introduction to Security Onion itself, as well as how to install Security Onion, what are some of the analyst tools that you can use, and some other things related to just practical usage of Security Onion. You can find that at securityonion.net/training. If you haven't done so, please go out and take that training before continuing on here. Now, as for our course, we're going to be looking at the three most common ways that people use Security Onion. We call these our primary workflows. The first one covered in our first case study is alert triage and case creation. This is simply the idea that you log into Security Onion, you open up the alerts console, and you just start working the queue. You look at each alert or set of alerts, you get some context around them. You can do that with the Hunt or Kibana. And then you decide whether or not you need to escalate these. If you do, you can escalate them to the Hive and start a case that way. All right, so that's alert triage and case creation. Our second workflow around our second case study is ad hoc hunting. Whereas with the first one, we start with the alerts. This time, we're starting with just the data that's inside Security Onion. All right, so just like we know that there is malicious things that happen all the time in our network and on our host that are not generating any alerts, therefore we need to go out and start hunting and doing some threat hunting to find that malicious activity. And that's what we're going to cover in this second case study. Third and finally is detection engineering. Detection engineering is the process of building mechanisms to alert when we find malicious activity or even misconfigurations that could lead to malicious activity. It's really based on the idea that we have a gap in our detection somewhere and we need to fill that gap. All right, we're going to be using Playbook, the alerts interface, Hunt, and some other things related to that. Again, the goal of our course is to work through each of these primary workflows and use a very practical case study alongside that to give you just experience on what that looks like in the real world using Security Onion. Now, along the way, you may run into issues or have questions, and so I just want to leave you with where to get help along the way. First off is if you go to securityonion.net/help, that will bring you to a very helpful page. See what I did there? It'll bring you to a very helpful page on just the most common questions asked. It will point you to our docs.securityonion.net, and just give you some next steps of where to go. It will also point you to our community support form, which is under GitHub discussions and how to use that. It will also finally point you to paid support by Security Onion Solutions if you need to go that route. Now, if you're having problems with the content and the training itself in this course, please feel free to reach out to us through the learning system itself, and we can help you with that. These options that I have on the screen are more related to when you're using Security Onion itself and working with it in your environment. That's about it for this overview. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, or feedback along the way. Otherwise, we'll see you soon.